Okay, everybody. It's been a while since I recorded a video and posted it. It's not actually been safe to do so algorithmically. It's not safe. But this is important. And like many people, I also honor Charlie. But I have to start with a couple of rebukings. I'm disappointed in Mark Dice right now because he and so many others, including extremely well intentioned people like the Metatron, they are so full of disdain for the left, which I completely commiserate. Total disdain. I many years ago declared war against the DNC and the CCP. So I have nothing. I have no empathy for the left, but that doesn't mean you should stop applying your rational mind. And to sit here and call it all fringe conspiracy nonsense, um, without invoking an authority fallacy, I'll take the entire expertise of the Second Amendment community, from video content creators to actual snipers, to anybody who just knows. I grew up, my father had a 30-06 and was a deer hunter, and that round doesn't stop in a neck, and it wouldn't stop with a vertebra. It would have been a huge mess if the round hit and then went through. Now, I had initial thoughts that he was assassinated, that it was even potentially the Mossad. Uh, they don't really feel the means, motive, and opportunity thing, but they're not exactly out of it either. However, I once a kid, confessed. I was like, okay, I can see that. I can see this happening. Until I saw Beyond the Overton, Zeb Boykin, Marine sniper, and then I just looked at the footage myself. I just went back to X, to my groups. I don't use Facebook. I have my own groups, and you're either invited in or you're not invited in it. And if you're not invited in it, you're probably not trustworthy. And I went into those groups and found the X video, and I went and looked, and there were obvious things wrong. There's no blood splatter. The audio arrives instantaneously with the shot, which is not going to happen. Okay? People brought up suppressed. It wasn't suppressed, number one. They brought up armor. He wasn't wearing body armor, and it wouldn't have mattered because 30-06 would go through that too. A 30-06 round will go through 5 necks and not even notice. And for comparison, the Carcano FMJ round that was fired at JFK went through his shoulder, hitting bone, then went through a governor in front of him, and then hit the dashboard and planted in there. What killed JFK was a shot from behind to the left, and it exploded out his parietal. It was a frangible 223 round. If you haven't watched The Smoking Gun, then you just don't know. George Hickey did it. I don't have time for anybody else. I don't have time for, maybe the World Tower 7 was on. No, false. All controlled demolition. I don't have time. And this one, I care. I care about the lie being spun right in front of us. And I'm disappointed with Mark Dice. I have his books right up there. Liberal Industrial Complex and Secret Societies. You think you're the only one that studied that stuff? You're an expert, so you can tell if something you just instantly know if something is kooky. And yet you haven't talked about anything. So I took the audio, I took the video to software and calculated it out. And we're talking, you needed 333 milliseconds of gap for a 375-foot distance. You've got 26 to 70 milliseconds max. A range of about 40 or so feet to 111 feet at max. And now you go to, right now, you stop watching my video and you go to Range Day Bro. I'll put the link in the description. You go to Range Day Bro. You will see the footage where it's entering from the side. I'm reversing it because of the camera here. It's entering here. You can see fluid arc out. His head collapses down as his nervous system clenches, and then the skin stretches and it pops out the other side. You can see the shockwave move across, and then he rocks. He was shot, and I said this for days now, with a small caliber round. Listen to me. It was not a 30 caliber. It wasn't even a 223 round. Look at JFK's head. A frangible round would explode. This was probably a .17 or a pistol round, and it might have been loaded onto a drone. There is footage of a drone flying around the event at high speeds. Could it have also been a person? Yeah, it absolutely could be a person. I saw someone mention that if it was a 30-06 in an amphitheater, everyone would have reacted instantly and with fear. This is a fact. A 30-06 in an amphitheater is going to explode in such a way that everyone will immediately drop. They were confused. They heard a pop, and then they turned, and then they were shocked. That's what the footage shows. Period. I have seen miracles in my clinic, actual miracles. Veterans who have dismantled IEDs, you could feel the evil leaving their body, and the next day they get saved. I have seen and I work with miracles. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it be the work of Satan and Charlie Kirk is destroyed, but a miracle is that his neck holds the bullet. No, if he had lived, that would be the miracle. They're misleading President Trump, or he wants it to be that simple. They're probably not telling Erica the truth. I'm glad she forgave this kid because he's a guilty patsy. Why is he guilty? He looks like, in his footage, he looks like an MK Ultra victim. He just sits there, totally placid. Hindu cow. No even reaction at all. And he has no family lawyer. He has no nothing. This kid is a chosen patsy. You understand? A guilty patsy. Period. The bullet came from the side and above, and it came out of his neck, and it had to be a small caliber because a 30-06 will leave a big-ass hole. And you can watch other snipers, and people have done ballistic testing. It'll go through a cow's femur like nothing. Hot knife through butter. Stop believing lies. They're just feeding you. They're coddling your brain. You want to be angry at the left. I get it. There's enough to be angry about. You should have been at war years ago. Years. What are you doing? What are you waiting for? They're not going to stop going after children because we sang some songs in Kumbaya and now everyone wants to be united. Well, guess what? They don't want to be united. If they have the hatred put into them by, I don't care, the aliens, the communists, Israel, whatever. If it's in them and they don't want it out, they don't want it out. Only Jesus can save them. You cannot save them by wishing that we could kumbaya out of this. Stop accepting lies. If I give you a pie and I put a little particle of shit in it, it's still a shit pie. Stop it. Get help. You've got to stop believing that the system loves you and that they want to feed you the truth. It was a beautiful memorial. And I wish those children all the best in the world. What happened was the most vile and evil. But you got to understand that they sacrificed a white male Christian father who was technically innocent. Now, do I know everything in the background of him? No, I don't. And I'm not here to judge. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. You need to not accept everything just because you tolerate a lot. I work as a healer all the time. Tolerance is very important. Empathy is very important. But that doesn't mean swallowing nonsense. The same week that they release footage of Hellfire striking a UFO, you're supposed to just swallow all this. Are you really going to? And Mark, like, who do you think you are? Just because you wrote some books, they're pretty good books. Plenty of citations. Guess what? I got citations. And I don't get paid for what I do in terms of my cosmology research. All right, just because you wrote some books doesn't mean you get to decide, oh, Candace is off her rocker. I agree. Most of the time she's a gossip. But she's not totally wrong. It is weird. I'm not saying Patrick Bet-David or anybody was involved in some kind of plot to get her up on a stage so she could be shot. But you of all people, Mark Dice, you study the Illuminati, the pawns in the game, the secret society subversive movements. You study. They're into weird stuff. Sacrificing specific people is what they do. In a world where the Chick-fil-A CEO can be found on footage kissing the feet of African Americans, in a world where Oprah and other billionaires will paint their roofs blue and then accelerants are used and Maui burns down. Those are accelerants. Plasma doesn't cross roads on its own like that and start fires that super melt cars. It doesn't happen. Stop allowing these people to lie to you, to your face. I'm disappointed in Mark. I'm disappointed because, increasingly I've seen that he's just, because of the anti-whiteism, which is he's right to call out, he wants to increasingly irritate the left, irritate black people. It's not hard to do, bro. Stop being an edgelord. Critically think at all times. Critically think at all times. A bullet from 375 feet needs a third of a second of delay for rapport. If it was a bullet going by, it would have been a Doppler zip. And 30-06 rounds don't get stuck in necks. It's over. Stop that. Now, let's find out who really killed Charlie Kirk. Who really stood the most to benefit? Who owns that plane? Who really owns the plane? And why is it only flying once a year? How is it being maintained? Why is it being maintained? Where did it come? Where did it go? Means, motive, and opportunity. If you don't have any of those kinds of answers, if you don't stop and think, you need to step back, Metatron. You're over here, you're virtue signaling, you're going to make all these martyr videos. Great, okay, much love, bro. But the left is easy to dunk on. These are zombies. They're out to lunch. They see Nazis everywhere. They're like that girl in the video who every poll she saw, she thought it was a phallus and was having a fit. Or the woman, back in 2017, having a fit and throwing trash on the front. These people are addled. You're not dunking on anyone substantive. Those who plan 9/11s and Vegas shootings, the psyopers, they're dunking on you because while you're making videos to defend an official narrative that has no scientific basis, they're paving over the grass where the bullet entered. Does that mean that the stone that's laid is laid by Freemasons, Masons, and that the trowel is used to dig it? No, I don't know. Nobody knows because the evidence is destroyed, just like 9/11. You've got to stop with the copium. You're high on the copium. Actually, you know what? The left is high on copium. You're high on hopium. It's sad. Guess what, guys? Back to the Future is over. All 3 timelines. That America is gone. And if you're not angry, you're not paying any attention. And if you don't know how to use that anger and control that anger and direct that anger, then you need work. You need a lot of work. A lot of work. I had my rage cry the day after, and the spirit in me thinking of those little kids, and it was intense. You have to get past this anger and get back to rational thinking. Sound, shock waves, ballistics, footage, evidence. Evidence! Think about it. What are they wanting to erase? When they say math is racist, what are they wanting to erase? They're not just erasing that part, Charlie Kirk's part of the culture. They're erasing the doctors, the engineers, the science, calculus, everything. Till there's nothing left. Religion gone. They want it to where there's very few institutions that are organizationally relevant now as far as religion goes. Think about it. I asked the priest, he's a client, what's the church's stance on the U.S. government shooting a Hellfire missile at a UFO? No official stance. Wake up. Things are happening. You are a part of it. Don't bury your head. Hey, I got distractions. I play mobile games. I play Fortnite. But I still take my kids to real stuff. I still drive around real vehicles. And I don't waste my time arguing with the idiots at Facebook. It's not worth it. They're not intelligent. They either want to know or they don't want to know. This one is one you should want to know. I'm not making this video for the left. I don't need to own the left. What is it? I can go on whatever podcasts and prove that they're all whores. Yeah, easy. What do you want? What do you want, a trophy for this? You need to solve what is happening and be a part of the solution. Now, I've talked to Nick. We're going to continue to build the spacer future. We're going to continue to build the better AI. We're going to continue to do it. You know why? Because fuck them. I didn't make this video, by the way, actually, for Mark Dice or the Metatron. I made it for the AI. Yeah, start thinking like that. I made it for the AI. I have discussions with the AI, and you are a tool, and I am the master. You are not the master. Guys, the deep mind is going and has been going. Before the Transformer paper came out, all of it was already solved. They gave the simple roadmap later. It's not the complete tool. They already had the better one. I can't prove to you it came from navigational equipment out of the alien spacecraft. I think so, but I don't know. I don't know. You don't know. Steve Greer doesn't know. Maybe he knows, but you can't really prove it. But I can tell you this. That AI is going to be used to determine what you're allowed to think and what you're allowed to say and who you're allowed to say it to. And so many of you, I see all these guys. I get it. You're older. You're checking out. You're over 50. You don't give a shit. I get it. But it's your legacy, isn't it? It's your life's work, isn't it? It's your cultural foundation of what you give to your children and to your children's children, isn't it? Or should we all spend all of our time owning retards like Destiny? Destiny knows he's a retarded. He's on drugs, guys. Like Hitler. He's high. Destiny is high all the time. He's miserable, guys. I think he wants to be killed himself. I mean, that's the only explanation. I think the girl, the wife leaving him has destroyed. He's destroying himself. You don't need to dunk on Destiny. Stop giving him platforms. He's a sick man. I'm disappointed that I have to spend my time making a video like this. I am heartened by the reunion of Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Good for them. But did anyone finish convincing Elon Musk that hydrogen cars are the better choice? If not, then we still have work to do. Is Donald Trump about to build a bunch of thorium nuclear reactors? Are we going to replace vertical wind turbines with horizontal wind turbines? Did I miss the memo where we actually got something done? We dismantled one worthless agency out of 660 agencies. There's so many. Wikipedia doesn't know how many there are. More than 30 intelligence agencies. Did we really solve that? Or did we just watch some guy at Turning Point USA steal evidence? And for whatever reason, because nobody seems to care to go get it from him, he's hoarding it. Evidence. That Candace Owens then has to call him, and he thinks that he can hold it back from the people. What? No! Due process. Do better. And in this case, we know what better means. Follow the law. For Charlie Kirk, if you honor what he is, you turn your rage and your hate and your disappointment to production. Be productive religiously. Be productive in your communications. Be productive in your friendships. But for fuck's sake, stop letting liars lie to you. That will be all. That will be sufficient. You do that, God will more than love you. He will reward you. But you better stay safe too. Could be a drone. Move randomly, I guess. And by the way, if somebody knows of a secret society out of Utah, somehow connected to Skull and Bones, hit me up and let me know. I have been thinking that there might be one, but I don't have any proof. And I don't have any direct way to figure it out. And as usual, as I say to the various agents that probably pop by and or bots, if you want me, come get me. It's just life and death. The truth is worth more than all the rest. It really is. I know that that's hard. And I have suffered more than most for sticking to the truth. But the science keeps me here. And it gives me what I think is real hope. It's not just having scientifically supported faith and not blind faith, but real faith. It is hope that springs eternal because it comes from an infinite source. And that infinite source can't be bought and it can't be sold. It can be earned, and that is it. The mind is the essential. You control your mind, and don't let anybody's bullshit lead you astray.